Okay, today we went out to a client who has a block just on the edge of town. She also has other country about an hour away at Castless. The cattle that were looked at today were cattle that were brought from the other property into this property where they could had more hay supplies. Been very dry here recently, and the cattle were brought in. Now we've gone out today to reduce the numbers a little bit, or to have a look to the option of reducing numbers. Spoke today with Kay, and it was upon the rain that we've had, whether the cattle would go back to her other property, whether they'd be continue to be fed hay. The decision was made by Kay, on advice from myself, was to cash in today to sell a portion of the cattle. We drafted through today and got 21 heifers and steers for market on Wednesday. My suggestion was that we send them in onto the fat sale on Wednesday to pick up any price enhancements that should be around after an inch of rain over the weekend. So the decision was made, and we assisted Kay in drafting those cattle into suitable lines, and those cattle will come into the Mudgee market on Tuesday to be sold on Wednesday morning. Today we went to a client's property down at Glen Alice, Ian and Kerry Grimshaw's. We've gone down there. They had 33 Angus yearling steers they wished to market. We took the cattle scales with us just in case that was one method we would go with as Auctions Plus. On arriving at the property and an assessment, visual assessment of the cattle, we decided that Auctions Plus would be the go for this number and the best method of sale. Went through the various reasons why to save the cartage and a few other costs, and that way the buyer can just pick them up from their property. We then went through the process of individually weighing the steers. So we had our own cattle scales, so they were put in the crush, they were checked off just to check that the weights were approximately right. They then went through and individually weighed each animal, and things that we looked for was weight was the obvious one. If the animal had any bad eyes, was lame, or any visual things that we could see whilst the beast was in an enclosed crush. And also we did an assessment for temperament, how they handled in coming up to the crush, and then also visually watching those cattle as they went back out from the crush into a pen, and how they reacted from there, which is things that we will put in the assessment. We also looked at the fat condition of the beast, and as I said, any previous marks, bumps or bruises. So we went through that process. We weighed them all and took photos and video. They will be downloaded later on when we do the assessment onto the Auctions Plus website. We then went through a series of questions with Ian and Kerry, just in regards to things like what age they were, drenching and vaccines that they've had previous, also the bloodlines of the animals. Yes, they were Angus, but what stud were the bulls purchased from, and are they a well-known stud, which sometimes help. We also asked the questions of their dietary, so what they're eating, their grazing conditions. It was discovered that these cattle were running on pretty well a bare paddock. However, they had adequate supply of hay and also grain oats, and the cattle were obviously doing very, very well. They appeared healthy and lively through the whole process. It was then we had the discussion with the vendor. We worked out their weight and the average weight,
and we went through a conversation in regards to what value do we put on the cattle. So we need a starting price and a reserve price. Upon calculating the weight, we come to a conclusion that around about $1,000 mark, or 1,015 was my recommendation. The vendor has indicated to me on a verbal basis that he would like to start the cattle at $980 per head. That's exclusive of GST. And the reserve was set at 1,000. So I will follow through on those verbal instructions and put the assessment in for those 33 cattle. My name is Bill Lawson. I'm a director of McDonald Lawson in Mudgee. Welcome to our sale yards. Today we're just getting ready for the fat cattle sale. So we have a regular fat sale every Wednesday in Mudgee, commencing at 8:30. You'll see by the footage that we've already had, we are waiting for the arrival of the cattle from the trucks. When we take delivery of the trucks, so we're going through a few processes. We have a book where we check off the numbers of cattle that are delivered. So then there's no discrepancy to what the people may thought they sent in on their vendor declarations. And you'll see over here, this is the number delivered opposed to possibly what they've booked in. So that's one of the checklists that we have. When the cattle come off, if we deem them to be, we want to identify their age. There is a process that we go through where we call mouthing, where we take the cattle to the crush and we actually physically put them in the headlock and open their mouths to identify the age of the animal. That is done to obviously get that age, the dentition and the age different. So when we draft through. The next process is the cattle come in, and if they're in different lines, we need to draft the stock, and that's in the drafting process. That's taking off things like sexing them between males and females, fat condition, age, and general appearance. So that's what we do, and we've done down here along these lines. We will then pen the cattle into sale order, ready for tomorrow. Later on this evening, we will go through the vendor declarations that have been given to us from the vendors, checking off to make sure all the paperwork is in order, so we can enter into the computer system tomorrow. That's about all we do for today, and we'll do the sale process tomorrow. Okay, Rosie, the four black heifers, no mark, right? Just take that Charolais cross steer out on the mid back, if you wouldn't mind. Yeah. So, Pete, we've got four Angus cross yearling heifers for Woodbine, number 21, and on the mid back we've got a Charolais cross yearling heifer, same way, mate. Come on, big fella. Come on. Hurry up, mate. You go with that 310 now. 300, a bit of it 5, all right, bit of it 305, 305, 6, a bit of it 6, 7, 7, a bit of it 7, 8, over 8, 9, over 9, 10, over 10, 11, 11, a bit of it 12, 3, 12, 8, 12 bit, over 3, 12 the money, a bit of it 3, 12, and out it goes. 3, 12 the money, done now, put him, done, goes to Langley, right out there, the shoulder fellas, that beautiful calf, right out there, the soft calf. We get 4. You get 4, 4, 4, right out there, fellas, out there. Arcs Mudgee Lamb. Right out there, fellas, you got the shoulder, fellas, you can start me away from him. You're going to make who's got, was that 320? 320, bit of it 10, bit of it 300, 300 was it? 10. Right, 10, thank you. Right, bit 310, all right, bit of it 310 now. 310 the money, done, buddy, done. 310 goes to last way. What there, fellas, you got a...
Mid-back heifer, have a look at her.
You got a beautiful heifer, fellas, here, the limo heifer. Right there, beautiful shaped heifer. Right there, come on there, up for hers, you make $3. I bet three I've got, I bet $3 bet, up $3 a bit, three, up $3, done, hold on, goes to MEM number one, was it? MEM one, right out there, the high bone heifer, fellas there, off the you keep me away for her, get him out, who got, was that, 290? I bet 80, I bet 280, all right, I bet 280, bit of it 280 got, bit of it 280 now, up 281 bed, done, 181 done, Garrison number 2 for 4. What are they out, fellas? The steers, the Lang family. What are they out there? Tono Lang, fellas. What they out? Come on there, right for those steers there, mate. Who's got, was that 310? I bet 310 I got. 310 bed. 310 the money. I put them. Done for about 30, 25 the yard. Better be 25 the yard. Better be 25 the yard. 60 yard. What is 60 yard? What is 60 yard? 7 the yard. I bet 7 the yard. 8 the yard. 9 the yard. I bet 329 the yard. I bet 328.6. I bet 328.6. Those heifers are going to make 290. 290, I bet 5. 85, 6, 86, 7, 87, a bit of it 87, 87, 87, a bit of it 86, 6, 86, 6, I bet 286.6. Done. Garrison, mate. Garrison number 2, right out there. What they are, the 3 grey heifers. What they are, 3 grey heifers, fellas. What they are, milk tooth there. What they are, come on there, right for those that mate. Who's got, was that 280? I bet 280 for 3 greys. I bet 280 got 280 bid. I bet 280 the no marks. Done. Sorry, David. Did you, for 2. I bet 280 for 2. Bit of it 280 for 2. 280 for 2. Right, and that Garrison number 2 will sell the one under the stick, fellas. Right there, selling the one under the stick, fellas. They're off for her 70. 55, I bet 255, the one on the stick, 255, done. Evo number 2, Everson number 2. Right out there, the fellas, you got the steer. What they are, the red steer. What they are, the Butler family. What they are, come on there, right for him, the good red car. What they are, premium mate, who's got, was that 290? 290. I bet 70. Who's 70 go? I bet 270, all right, better be 270, the red steer, better be 270, better be 70, better be 70 goes to John. Gunnermain 1, right out there, the heifer on the mid-back, good heifer. Right out there, have a look at her. Right out there for her, she made 80. 6.5. I bet 5. I bet 265, right, better be 265, 265, 265, 265, I sell, done.
They go to Overdale, do they, Tone?
$84 for 4 Overdale.
Yeah, good put away lambs here, fellas. There you go for them.
Yeah, 84 there, Kirsty Murdoch.
Same stable, they made somewhere on that. They made 78, well, 78 bid, thank you. Bid 78 now, bid 78, 9, 79, 80, 50 bid, $50 we part them. They go the same way, thank you, Tone.
$80 for 8, Tony.
There you go, gentlemen. Same stable, 8.
Another 8 again.
Yep, there you go for them. They made 75, well, they 75 for them, $70 and go. 70, bid, thank you, bid 70, only bid 1, 71, 2, 72, $72 we part them. They go to Tony, thank you Tony.
$72 there for 8.
Wool girls, wool girls. Yep, 3 ewes there, gentlemen, there you go for them. They made somewhere on that, they made 68, will they? 68 for them, a 5, 6, 5, 1, I'll bid 60. 60 only, $60, 60, 50, 60, 51, 61, $61 we part them. They go to MEM for 3.
$1 there for 3, MEM.
Thank you, gentlemen. See you next week. Yep, Steve Rose from McDonald Lawson, just explaining today where all our processes are from and how our cattle are delivered to each pen for each buyer. This pen here is Ralph Meats. They're located down in Victoria, so we're in Mudgee, so they've obviously got a bit of transport to go down to Victoria. Moving on, we've got a local, another buyer who buys boner type cattle for a mince job. They're killed and then for an export mince. Further on, this is Edward Throsby that kills over at Scone. He's got some works over there, also does a boner job. They're killed and typically into a mince job. Then we've got that's another pen of Throsby there. They're ET2s, Edward Throsby, number 2s, so they'll go to the same works. The ET10s are usually quite suspect cattle. These are ET2s, which are his normal straight boner job for the mince. Moving on, Green Mountain is another works. I think they've got a works down, I think actually in Tasmania, so those cattle also will go down south. Moving around the way, we've got some butcher cattle. Some local butchers have bought these cattle here. These cattle will go to Davies Butchery in Golgong, which is a local butcher shop. They'll be transported over to Curry Curry Meats, killed there, and the bodies come back to the butcher shop for sale. Moving on, this pen of cattle here is some younger cattle bought by Tees Australia. They'll be going to their Beenleigh works in Queensland, up to Beenleigh. This pen of cattle here are Everson. They kill some younger cattle, fresh neat bodies, they're heifers. This pen of cattle here, Gundamain feedlot located at Forbes. So they'll be taking those cattle on to a short feed program and then probably killed into domestic market or export. That's Gundamain 2s are the heifers, Gundamain 1s. Gundamain 1s are here. Same story there, that's just the steers, the 2s are the heifers. This pen here is R.W. Langley. He kills at a works in Wilberforce near Sydney. Langley is a wholesale butcher. Those bodies will be cut up to each butcher's specifications in Sydney and delivered from Wilberforce to those butcher shops.
G'day, Andy Carter here from McDonald Lawson in Mudgee. We've got a stall sale here today, just about to start. We don't have too many cattle because of the recent rain events, but anyway, a stall sale is where we sell in dollars per head, not cents per kilo. So the cattle don't need to be weighed; they're sold in dollars per head. The likely cattle that we sell are this is where you come to buy your cows and calves, your preg-tested cattle, your like your little steer weaners and your little heifer weaners. So that's actually our order of sale today. We'll sell all our cows and calves first, then our preg-tested cattle, onto our steers, and finish on our heifers. The people that normally sell here today are people that grow sort of like breeders, people that grow cattle to a certain age and weight and then offload them. So they're not taking them through to heavier weights like feedlots and or taking them through to kill weights. So the reason most of these cattle are in here today, we've had a bit of rain. We probably yard a few more cattle than normal, so our numbers are back, but a lot of these cattle have come in because it's rained. We expect a pretty buoyant market today. Yeah, the buyers that come here today are generally restockers, so they're more your farmers and stuff like that, as opposed to a fat sale where they're commission buyers and company buyers for feedlots and abattoirs. So we get a lot of farmers here today that'll either come in to look for cows and calves or young cattle to either replace cattle that they've sold or because there's a lot of grass around, they want to buy a few little cattle to put away and turn into heavier weights. Cattle look pretty good in the area at the moment. We've had a little bit of rain, so we're expecting a pretty good sale today. Salo, ladies and gentlemen, salo. We'll start the sale selling on behalf of McDonald Lawson under normal terms and conditions. Just before we do start, ladies and gentlemen, approximately 250 cattle here today for your competition. Plenty of good falls around the district and more to come in the next month of November too. So if you want to buy stall cattle, now's the chance, because they're only going to get dearer, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you are successful in purchasing any cattle, we would ask that you please come and see either one of us or Schmidt, who you purchased the cattle from, with your details and pick numbers. Also, there's plenty of local carriers in the crowd too. So if you do need a transport, come and see one of us and we'll steer you in the right direction. Also, just to touch on that, no cattle are to be moved until the completion of the sale, ladies and gentlemen. Not many lots to get through, so we'll wolf into it and we won't have you waiting around too long.
First 3 pins and not rejoined.
Yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll start selling on behalf of McDonald Lawson under normal terms and conditions, ladies and gentlemen. Account Joyce Campbell, ladies and gentlemen. 2 big cows, lovely big calves too, ladies and gentlemen. The next 3 pens haven't had the opportunity or the enjoyment back to the bull, ladies and gentlemen.
So they're not rejoined.
Not rejoined. Anyway, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Got lovely big calves on them. Lovely big cows too. Hey, go, your day, your dollar. I thought they might have made 15 or 1600. Who's got a bit 15? I bid 1550. I bid 1600. 50, 1650. I bid 1750, 1750 the bid. I bid 1750, change gears now. I bid 1750 bid. I bid 1750's front row. I bid 75. 1775, I bid 1775 the bid, I bid 1775 the money, I bid 1775 bid, I bid $1,775 the money, finished, done. 18 starter man, you're gone. I bid $1,800 bid, I bid 18 the money, $1,800 bid, I bid 18. What's that? I bid 1820, 1820, I bid 1820 bid, 1820 40, 1840, you're still gone. I bid 1840 bid, I bid 1840 the money, take a 10. I bid 1840, $1,840 the money, finished, done. Yeah, run your eyes over the cows, but have a look at the calves, ladies and gentlemen, doing a tremendous job. Doing a tremendous job there, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, there you go. Come on for them today. They're going to make 1750, 1750, 1700. Who's got 17 to go? Who's got 17? Who's got 1650 or 1600? Who's got 1600? They're going to make it. Who's got 16 to go? Who's got 1600? Well, give me 15. I bid 14. I bid 14 bid. I bid 1400. I bid $1,400 bid. And I bid 1400. I bid 1400. Have a look at the calves. And I bid 1400. I bid 1400. One bid's going to bowl them. I bid 1400. 25, 50, 1475, 1415. I bid 1500. I bid 1500's there. I bid $1,500 bid. I bid 15 starter man's in. I bid 1500 the money. I bid $1,500 the money. Finished, done. Say 3 by 3 this time, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they're only babies, these heifers. Have a look at the calves they got on them.
Yeah, got their first calf at foot, ladies and gentlemen. Hardest thing to find. Anyway, there you go. Come on for them today. They're going to make 1700. Who's got 17 to go? Who's got 17? 1650. Who's got 1650? 1600. Who's got 1600? Who's got 1600? Well, give me 15 to start. Who's got 1500? I bid 13 better. I bid 1325. I bid 1350. I bid 1350. 75. 1375. I bid 1375 bid. I bid 1375 the money. I bid, is it? 14. I bid 1400. I bid 1400's out the back. I bid 1400. 25. 1425. I bid 1425's in close. I bid 1425 bid. I bid 1425 the money. I bid 1450. 75. Round them up. I bid 1475. I bid 1475 the money. I bid $1,475 bid. I bid $1,475 the money. Finished, done. Andy Carter here from McDonald Lawson. We've just completed the store sale here today. Very good sale. We had, as well as local competition, we had plenty of fellas from Dunedoo, the Bathurst region, and also in the Hunter region. Cows and calves topped at 1850, which was a very good shot. However, most sales were probably between 14 and 1600. preg-tested section. There was only a couple of pens of preg-tested cows. They sold particularly well for their condition, and they topped it around $900. Not a lot of young cattle, however, they did sell extremely well. Steers, little weaner steers, no yearling cattle yarded, a lot of weaner type cattle, and the steers topped at around 900 once again. But most of those sales were probably between $700 and $850. And then in the heifer department, there was a lot of sales around the $600 and $700 mark, probably topping at $800. But very good day here. A lot of happy clients and a lot of happy purchasers too. So thank you.
My name's Peter Mitchell. I'm work for McDonald Lawson, stock and station agent in Mudgee, and I'm here today to just explain how tags work, how they're read, and how the farm people use them, and how we use them for transferring of cattle from one client to another and to buyers. First of all, I'll talk about the management tags, which I have two here. This gentleman has two different colours, and one of them, on the front of them he has More, which is his name, and on the reverse he has More with a number, and he uses those for management of his herds, having them that he can mother up cows and calves. They will have the same number in their ear. Identification purposes for years, there's different colours for years, which they use at times. And that's how they use these tags. They can be blank, you can write on them with your own pen, or pens supplied. So that's how the management tags work. We'll just go into the identification tag now, which is what we call an NLIS tag, and that's National Livestock Identification Scheme tag, which is inserted into the ear of animals when they're born, and it's a unique identifier which stays with that beast from birth to eventual death, or it's removed, lost and replaced. That tag has two numbers on it, what we call a visual number, which is on the outside, which comprises of the person's PIC number, and then an identifying number. Inside that it has a computer chip, which is a unique number which ties up to the number on the outside, and we use scanners to read that and get the inside number, and it's used for traceability, lifetime traceability, and a lot of feedlots and that require the cattle to be lifetime traceable. We use those a lot. We actually read them with what we call a wand reader. If we're doing paddock to paddock transfers from one of our clients to another client or purchaser, we actually read the cattle with this scanner. We then do it through, upload it to the NLIS database and transfer the cattle from one PIC number to another. Every property has a unique number. It's issued to them by the local land services or DPI, Department of Primary Industries. That PIC number stays with that property, and we use it to transfer the cattle with these buttons from PIC number to PIC number, which is the vendor, comes off the vendor's PIC number and goes to the buyer's PIC number. Abattoirs have a PIC number as well, so when they purchase cattle or cattle are sent there to be slaughtered, they actually get marked as being slaughtered and taken off the database. I'm just going to go through the paperwork required for different types of sales and how it's used. For every sale, whether it's private, direct to feedlots, abattoirs or to the sale yards, a national vendor declaration is required, an LPA vendor declaration, which a copy of is here. This declaration must be filled out in full, and it suffices for the agent's authority to sell the cattle on behalf of the vendor. It also has a transport statement on it, which is filled out by the carrier, who then uses that should he be pulled up by the Roads and Traffic Authority. At the completion of the sale, a copy of this vendor declaration is sent to the purchaser with all the relevant details, and they use that for their records if they're going to on-sell the cattle, or for identifying any chemicals or residues or information that they require for their on-selling of the beef. To do a private sale, we have what we call a standard private contract for sale, put out by the Australian Livestock and Property Agents Association, and a copy of that is like this. This is filled out by the agent between the relevant parties and the agent, and a copy is given to the agent. Keeps one copy, the vendor keeps the other copy, and the purchaser the other copy. That's the paperwork for it, and that is also in addition to the National Livestock Vendor Declaration, which is required to be held, as I said, for all sales. There's one other document that truck drivers use in the absence of a national vendor declaration, and at times the vendor declarations are given to the agent by the vendor. The carrier calls at the property to collect the cattle to take to the relevant destination, and there's no vendor declaration, which he has no transport document. So he has what they call a travelling stock statement book, and he would complete that and use it again for the Roads and Traffic Authority if they pull him up to identify the stock that he has on the truck and where they're going.
Okay, John, just a bit of an overview of what we've done here through the week, and mate, it's been great having you up here, and we've really enjoyed having you. Just to give everyone a little bit of an insight into the stock and station agent industry, particularly with the livestock component of all our licences. We've really started off Monday. We've gone through the beginning of the week, and it was getting ready for our first sale, which was on the Wednesday, but we got cattle drafted up, and spoke to the client to send in on so through Monday. We just advised probably the best method of sale. That was chosen to be the fat sale, and that sale was done, and I think you've followed that right through throughout the week. Tuesday we went to Glen Alice, and we did a variety of things there. We got some cattle, particularly cows and calves, that we sold at the store sale today for a lady by the name of Shirley. She had a very good result today, and those cows and calves made $1,480. Shirley was very happy in our method. She didn't want to see them go to a bad home, so she will be very, very happy. We also did some Auctions Plus assessment, and that was where we weighed the cattle and did all our assessment. That has been entered onto the computer, and that sale will be on Auctions Plus tomorrow. Just one of the many methods that we do for getting rid of or trading of livestock. So it's a very, very good industry, and you meet so many very, very good people in this industry, and it's a very trustworthy industry. And it's more about building relationships rather than just a vendor for one-off times. So that's one of the things that we've been going for 20, 23, 4, 5 years or whatever it is, and I've got many, many good friends out of it, and we continue to do their business for all that time. So pretty well, John, if there's anything that we can ever help with any of your students or whatever, only happy to help. It's been great to have you along. Hope you enjoy the ride of a stock and station agent, and also livestock with what you've seen today. Thank you very much, and good luck everyone.